Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out RV Daydream, and it's windy outside. Today's 59 for the high, and that's it. We're going to be tomorrow 12 degrees colder, and then the next day we're going to be about another 3 degrees colder. The next day after that, about another 4 degrees colder, and we're going to be in a stretch here that our highs are going to be, we're going to have a couple days that we're going to be lucky to get above freezing for the high. So winterization of the RV, no, not yet. We'll tell you why. But as far as everything else, winterization of the house, yeah.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream. I know it doesn't look like it, but I pressure washed the house today, the front of the house, and I pressure washed the entire garage. I didn't pressure wash the back of the house. It really didn't need it. The shed needed help, that's for sure. We were supposed to paint the doors of this garage this summer, and we didn't. We were supposed to repair that shed to some extent, because it's got some spots in it that little animals are getting in. But all the leaves are gone from the tree, finally. And I've been keeping up with it, so looks like somebody's stuff is out in our yard. The ground is extremely wet and saturated, but the skies are really nice looking with the sun peeking through. Lots of clouds. This is election day. I don't know when you guys will be able to see it, but our election, we never miss election day. I don't know if you can see, but off in the distance you can see a white car up on the hill. Yeah, that's our voting booth. Sometimes we walk up there. We used to ride the mopeds up there. We never miss it. Usually we drive up there. As you can see, Heidi's driving the wheels off that new truck. I'm kidding. Her car's out there in the yard for sale, and this trip that we're going to sneak out, I'm going to be taking this truck because it's kind of funny. I didn't even think about it. So I was talking to Heidi on the phone whenever we were driving home. She didn't want to drive the truck home. She was scared to death. And I told her, I said, you know what? I didn't even think about it, but we could actually go on the trip with the truck. We could take the truck on the trip. We could set it up to tow the RV, and that'd be kind of nice. Have a nice new vehicle to go tow with and just see what it's like. And then I came home and sat down and read the manual. Something you guys should do. I don't like to read. I hardly ever read, but I'll tell you what, reading through that manual, there was a couple of things that jumped out and I just didn't think about. One of the things that I noticed in the manual that I'll share with you guys is a break-in. There is a break-in period. You're not supposed to run it hard. You're not supposed to do anything but just normal stop and go traffic. Let it, highway speed. Just drive it for the first 1,000 miles before you do any kind of a towing or anything like that. So we're not going to get 1,000 miles on this truck before we could go on this trip. So the old truck will make another trip. Not a big deal. That makes it a little bit easier on me. I don't have to set up the new hitch, and I don't even know if my drop bar is going to drop far enough for that. We'll do a video on that maybe in a few days, just doing a comparison on it. The other thing is, for miles per gallon, this is right in Ford's manual. This is in the owner's manual for Ford. I found this really interesting, that they stated that every 400 pounds that you carry extra on your truck, you can expect to see potentially 1 mile per gallon less in fuel economy. Wow, that's a little bit different. Never really thought about that. I knew that added weight would make the truck work a little harder, but yeah, 400 pounds, 1 mile per gallon. I'm definitely going to remember that. Now, as far as getting a bed rug in the back of the truck and a cap on the truck, wow, we finally got a price of a truck cap that was matched, color matched with the correct clear coat, the gel coat, whatever it is. And we got a good quality one that we've got an estimate on, and we've shopped around, and the prices are a firm $2,500 to $3,100 out the door. Yikes. I mean, you gotta remember that we don't even pay that much for our vehicles normally. But Heidi and I both come to the conclusion that once we sell this truck, maybe we'll use some of the money from the proceeds of this truck to go ahead and purchase that stuff, or maybe I'll buy it. I mean, we could swing it, but it's just it's a big investment. But we do like having caps on the back of our vehicles. You know, again, I've had a cap on every F-Series truck that I've ever owned, and I've never found a need not to have it. I mean, there was 1 or 2 times that I could have hauled some gravel, and I thought, boy, if I don't have a cap on, but I could have taken the cap off. I mean, I could have done that. Nonetheless, I don't think so. I've got to have a cap on there. So I just wanted to share today's weather with you. Yeah, it's just really cool, the clouds and the way that they're shooting across the sky here. It is cool out. I mean, the breeze is very cool. I'm really glad that I've got all this extra weight on me to help me out with this cold. It really is like putting on an extra jacket. But the winds today, we're going to have gusts in excess of 35 miles per hour. And they said because the ground is so wet, I mean, there's my footprints from me just walking over here talking to you guys. It's very, very wet. But they said with the winds and how saturated the ground is out here, trees being downed and power outages is a real thing. We could have some issues. Look at that tree. Somebody forgot to give it its notice that it needs to lose its leaves. So we're going to pick this up at another time, and that'll be in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bam. Well, YouTube, it's a new day, and we're doing some downsizing, housekeeping, and we thought we'd include you on something that we do or have done, and it worked out pretty nice. But first, look at what Heidi's doing to the truck. Heidi's out here doing burnouts in the yard.
First time ever.
Yeah.
It's usually Michael.
Yeah, I usually do those burnouts. But
I wasn't really doing a burnout.
Yes, she was. Our grass was it's so wet back here, it's ridiculous. But it was nice because if it was that truck, it would have probably still been here. Actually, I think at this point though, I bet you the back of that truck's probably lighter than the back of our truck.
Well, could be.
I'm almost positive it is. Well, look at it this way. This truck weighs 60,040 pounds, and this truck weighs 6,700 pounds. Well, you got to figure it's got all that front transaxle on it.
Yeah.
So I know that all that front end is at least
actually
700 pounds. So
remember when we got on it and it...
Yeah. I think the back end's really light on that. So let's get to where we're at here. Heidi went down to her mom's and picks up some firewood, and what we're going to do is get a whole bunch of coals here and get it real hot and burn papers.
Junk mail.
Junk mail, mainly junk mail, old bills, stuff that has our personal information on it.
Well, yeah, because we got tired of dividing.
Yeah, I mean, there's
the shredder.
Yeah, but there's so much that has so much on there. So the deal is we've got a lot of personal papers and stuff that has, I don't know, social security numbers on it, stuff like that.
I hope not, but
yeah. So what we did, or what we're going to do, is burn it. Obviously, instead of trying to shred it all and trying to, just throw it away, we're going to get a fire here and burn it. Now, one of the things that we did, which you guys may want to do with your kids, which really worked out well, is all the school papers, all the little stuff that we kept from pre-kindergarten on, everything, the hand turkey, any kind of pictures, anything like that. We had the kids go through all their stuff, all their papers, and keep whatever they wanted, which was a few things. And we actually kept a couple of things. We kept some really nice pictures because our kids are pretty creative, and most kids are. So we kept those things. But what we did do was, when the kids were here at the house, both of them, we came out and had a big fire, and we brought all their papers out, and we just went through them. So yeah, we went through them all, and with the kids, they talked about whatever papers kind of caught their eyes, and kind of reminisced a little bit about, hey, I remember this teacher, or I remember that. And then at that point, we went ahead and burned it. You know, that was it. We didn't have to worry about it. Now, if it was something really interesting or something that we thought it'd be nice to kind of keep, you know, or at least think about at another point in time, we took a picture of it with our phones.
Or if they wanted to keep it, it's in a container in the basement,
right,
amongst the who knows how many.
Right. So that's something you guys may want to do. If you've got a bunch of your kids' paperwork and stuff like that, just go ahead and throw it in, you know, fire, but have them with you so you guys can go over it, you know, talk about things. It's kind of fun, you know, it's a family get-together thing, and, you know, who doesn't like standing around a fire anyways?
One of my friends actually does it at the end of the school year, as soon as they get off the bus.
Yeah, every school year. Yeah, I think that's funny. You can see it's kind of cold. See our breaths. But we're going to try to get all this stuff taken care of. We got a lot.
So big bags.
Let's get to work. All our papers are gone. Everything that was important. I mean, we had stuff going all the way back to the early 90s that we still had. And you can see that everything's filled. I mean, those are all ashes down in there. Now, granted, there was a lot of wood too, but Heidi took the truck, decided she's going to go ahead and hose off the, the wheels and tires. That way when she goes to work tomorrow, don't sling it all over. And I got to start getting the truck ready. As far as going on this little trip, I forgot even half the stuff where it was, because we only went camping a couple times this year. Actually, I think 3 times. That was it, just 3 times. So it'll be nice. I mean, this will give us 4. We'll get to show you guys where we're going to head to, and we'll pick it up on that day. So whenever we head out, we'll give you a little bit more of a heads up at that point. But until then, hope to see you out there. Bye.